Good night, folk. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Da, 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 da. I got you. Send it to my email. Wait for it to load up.
Hello, everybody.
Let us know where you're
Happy
streaming
Friday.
from. Let us know where you're streaming from. Happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. Here it is right there. Let us know where you're streaming from. God bless you all. Come on in. Let us know where you're streaming from. Let us know where you are streaming from. All right. I see you. I see you. I see you, Tampa. Angie, you frozen? I know it's I know, I know, I know. All right, all right. God bless you all. Come on in. 701. Come on in. Come on in. Karen, Mississauga. I'm actually gonna,
Mississauga
yeah,
County.
we're gonna go to Canada soon. I gotta go visit my aunt in Mississauga County. So
Yes,
I may let you holler at you when I get there.
that'd be really cool.
Yes, it would. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. God bless you all. Before we jump in, I want to say what's up. We're wearing special t-shirts
Yes.
tonight. God is incredible.
Thank you so much.
Yes, my good friend Inkara and Tiambe Jackman. By the way,
Yes.
in the bottom of the
The
feed
description.
you could find their website if you want a shirt. But
Yes.
uh,
They have
I,
a lot of Christian merch
yeah,
that you can purchase on their
yeah,
website.
and so praise God, holla at
Yes.
them. So we're just rocking their shirt. God is incredible. All right, my name is JOMO.
I'm Charmaine.
And we get together on Friday nights. I'm glad you remember who you are. And we get together on Friday nights and we come to you with real, raw, and relevant conversations dealing with relationships. And tonight we're going to touch on some touchy issues.
Yes. 10 things you should never say to your partner. 10 things you should never say in your relationship.
Come on, come
Point
on.
blank.
Period, period, period. So I'm gonna give you some quick research, and we're gonna delve into it. The great researcher John Gottman, I think it's over 50 years now. John Gottman has done research on marriages, and there's certain dynamics and characteristics to positive marriages and negative marriages.
Right.
And he speaks of the four horsemen. These four horsemen are things that are characteristics of relationships that will have problems.
Right.
Okay. So the four characteristics, number one is criticism. It's just what it is. The world is rough enough as it is
Right.
without us always critiquing each other.
Every little thing. You want to be the person to build your spouse up and not break them down.
Okay. The next one's defensiveness.
Right.
Uh, Everything pop off. You trying to defend everything. You can't receive anything. Everything's a fight.
Right.
And
And usually pride is a big part of defensiveness
correct.
because you don't want to humble yourself and own up to some things that you may be contributing into
Yeah.
the relationship.
Proverbs says, wherever there's pride, there's strife.
Mhm.
Okay, say it again. Wherever there is strife, there is pride.
Right.
So whenever you see a lot of drama, go ahead and find out there's pride there.
Right.
So at some point, you got to lay your pride down. I say it all the time. You could have your pride or you could have your peace, but you can't have both.
Right.
So at some point, you got to understand that peace is the critical aspect of that you want in a relationship.
Right. The next one is being content.
No, content.
Content.
How they feel about you. They contemptuous. They almost want to do something to you. It's amazing how love can get to the place of hate, rage.
Right.
And it's amazing how we see a lot more rage than personally me, I've seen a lot more rage than I've ever seen. Now, I don't know if it's COVID. I don't know if it's the world. I don't know what it is, but
Right.
rage is just, I know through the way our country has gone over the last couple presidents, just the tension and the animosity that we have just in the world is just
Toward each other.
towards each other. I mean,
Right.
just driving traffic, just communications, just so contemptuous, and
Right.
lastly, stonewalling. Stonewalling. So these are the four horsemen
Right.
that will destroy your relationship. The worst, though, the number one indicator of divorce is contempt. When you can't even stand them anymore.
Right.
That's a bad place to be. All right.
All right. So we're going to go into the 10 things you should never say in your relationship.
Y'all ready?
Number one.
I should have never married you.
I mean, to me, when you say something like this, is like the beginning of the end, you know?
I should have never married
because
you.
your words have power. And when you say that, you're just breaking the person down. So I think the reason why people say this is to hurt, because you're not being specific on a particular issue. You're not trying to solve a problem. You're just trying to end it. This is like the big joker right here. I should have never married you. Like, I made this terrible decision. It was you. No, you made that was your intelligent decision.
Hopefully.
So
you have to really, in the process of using words, especially words that can have ramifications, you got to get the 4 P's in place. Okay. What's the 4 P's? You got to pause, slow down, ponder, think about what you're about to say, pray, ask God to help you with the words, and then proceed. Oftentimes, our flesh does not allow us to go through a process, and we just kind of flip off at the mouth. And some of you have a pop-off spirit, just be popping off. To God be the glory. You got to contain that, man. Pause, ponder, pray, proceed.
All right. Number 2, speak in absolutes. You never.
You always.
You always.
What?
Nobody never and nobody always. We're being dramatic, right?
And people do it all the time.
We're trying to, right. And it's very easy to communicate those words, and it's not literal. You're being dramatic.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure, because what could possibly happen is if somebody's working on something, like your spouse is working on themselves, and you say you never, and they're trying, and maybe you're not seeing that they're trying, you've totally crushed them.
And therefore, why even try?
Right.
If I'm always.
And I never.
I mean, I've heard a man, now this is not right. He said, well, if you always say I'm cheating, I might as well cheat.
Right.
If you always say I'm lying, I might as well lie.
I'm always cheating on you.
I'm always. And I'm not advocating for cheating on a male or female.
Right.
I'm not saying that. But we have to be judicious in our word use if we're going to say something. Be specific.
Right.
Babe, when you do this, you make me feel like that. Yes. Versus saying always, or you never help me. Well, that's if the person never helped you, why'd you marry them?
Right.
At some point.
Because your definition of help and their definition of help may be 2 different things. That's a communication thing. So, all right. Number 3.
I'm no longer attracted to you.
Wow. I mean, that's something you can't even change the way you look. I mean, besides, like if they're talking about weight or, but like attractiveness is not just an order thing too. Like I'm not saying some people, most people that get married, you're not just marrying a face. You're not just marrying a body. You're marrying a whole person with a personality, with character, with ethics, with morals.
God willing.
Right. So with that being said, you tell somebody you're not attracted to them anymore. That's bone crushing.
Here, and I've heard it. And here's what really blows my mind. When you met this person, the person was not tall.
Right.
Now you've been together a couple of years, and you expect them to grow.
No, they throw it in their face every time they get into an argument.
That's my point.
Because you know that that's a vulnerable
if you
area
already knew the person had an issue with height or weight or size or muscles or no muscles or hair or no hair or size of this or that, you already knew that.
Even if they change, because some women having children, their bodies change after going through menopause. You might have hair loss and all this kind of stuff. Make sure you're not marrying for, outer appearances, and you're really marrying the person for who they are.
You got to be careful, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful out in these streets because
And some people are like, oh, look at her mama, and how her mama looks is how she's gonna
that's
look.
not always the case, y'all.
No.
That's not always the case. So you have to be mindful that there will be changes,
Right.
and
To both of you.
to both of you, and you better understand that this thing will flip on you.
And this is
Okay.
a lifelong commitment. So you have to believe over your lifespan, you're going to lose your hair too. You're
Yeah.
going to go through different changes in your body. We all do as we get older. So I think that's a part of growing together.
Angie, I do agree with you that you may not know certain things if you don't have sex before marriage. Good point. I agree with you. Uh, so now what? Okay, let's
So,
go
but
there.
that's not being attracted to them.
No, I
But
understand
we
that. But
could go there. Let's go here.
no, my premise is I feel you, so I'm gonna go there. So, uh, say for example, you've already been married before, okay, and you're single, and you're saying to yourself, "I'm not making that mistake again." So I don't want to be with a person who doesn't know how to do certain things well. How about that?
Okay.
So now, how are we gonna figure this thing out? Now,
If they're willing to learn,
there it is.
things can be taught in
Hallelujah.
any area of the house.
Hallelujah.
So if a woman can't cook, she can learn how to cook.
Angie's off the
A
chain tonight.
man can't do some things in another room, like the bedroom, we can all learn.
So she said, Angie said size matters.
And the thing is honest,
Yes.
open communication before marriage.
Yes.
I mean,
Off the chain.
yeah.
And it's
This
true.
is true.
It's true for different people. You have to get clarity on what exactly you're looking for in a marriage.
Right.
And that's why you have to ask good questions.
Right.
All right, number four.
Number 4, I can't follow you.
I can't follow you. So that you're saying that I am a poor leader.
Right.
I have no direction.
Right. I don't trust you.
I don't trust you.
I don't
I have
trust
no
your
vision.
decisions.
Wow. You have
That's
crushed
that's
it.
a mouthful. That's
Wow.
a mouthful.
Yes. You you crushed the brother. Okay, you crushed the brother.
Right.
So especially and I say to the brother because biblically speaking, the man is supposed to lead.
Right. He's the head of household.
Now, the woman's right there next to him.
Right.
Okay. But we have to get clarity on direction. Now, I've said this over and over again. I'm saying it again. My brothers, you have to have a vision. The Bible says in Proverbs 28:19 or 29:18, without a vision, the people perish. Another translation says, without revelation, we die.
Right.
I need to know where we're going, boo.
That's good.
So people don't want to follow a parked car.
Mm-hmm.
You need to give your wife the direction on where we're going. I'm not saying you're telling her what to do. I'm just saying you have some insight on where we're going because women ask many questions on what the plan is. So it behooves you to understand that we have to have a game plan. Now, Jomo, I don't know where we're going. Right. Well, okay, that's why you need a relationship with God. Okay. You need to start praying for God to give you some wisdom on how to handle and navigate this season. That's why marriage is so critical, to have God in the center, because God created marriage. Right. And if you don't have God flowing in a marriage, you're going to get a hotmess.com.net.org. So we have to make sure that we are in tune with God so that now we can speak a vision. We were talking this day. We were looking at a property in Tallahassee. And I said, listen, you know what? We can't make that move right now because right now we're focusing on this, right, and that. And I said, so we're going to wait on that and focus on this. Why? Because I know these are the things we're working on. So let's not get distracted by this. And we're in agreement that, listen, we already got a full plate. We don't need to add nothing else to the plate. Right. So by being able to recite and go back to the vision, the plan, the goals, now we can tap in. The challenge is very hard to be in submission with a man with no mission. So the wrestle is you may tell your wife to submit, but what am I submitting to? Right. I need direction. So
and they have to trust you based off of your past experiences. So when you say something and when you have a vision and it comes to pass, you build trust. when you say you're going to do something, you do it, you make a plan, we accomplish it together. We build trust that way. So the next time you come with, a vision, they see your partner or your spouse sees you praying and asking God for direction, and they know you're submitting unto God so they can submit unto you. And then they can trust that you have a plan and a vision.
Okay.
All right. The next one.
You too drama. You get too much drama.
Dismiss feelings.
Yeah, too much drama. You so dramatic.
Feelings are real. And just like Jesus in the Bible was compassionate for his people, and we're supposed to be a reflection of God, we need to be compassionate for our spouses. We need to have compassion. So when they have feelings about certain things, we need to take that serious, because what we make important to, like
what's important to her needs to be important to me, and what's important to me needs to be important to her.
Right. We need to respect each other's feelings. So don't dismiss each other's feelings when you're trying to communicate.
Number 6. There you go again. Always tripping. There you go again. Always. There you go again. Every time we go out, you be tripping.
There is a thing. Most people don't change very much.
Okay.
So when you were dating that person,
mm-hmm.
and they were doing whatever it is you say, there you go again.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing that when you were dating.
Yes.
You were ignoring it because you thought it was cute. You liked it. You were willing to put up with it because you don't want to be lonely anymore. But then after we get married and we get, kind of complacent with some things, we're like, I really don't like when you do that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? That's just something that you signed up for. You decided to put up with that. So don't complain about it. Manage it.
Oh, you preaching, girl. All right. Always threatening divorce. I'm just going to leave. Why don't we get divorced? Why don't we just get a divorce? I'm so.
Out of the heart,
the mouth speaks. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. So we have to be mindful that you are prophesying to your situation death.
Right.
God hates divorce. Now, I'm not saying, your situation may not be deserving of, but that's not God's best.
Right.
Okay. So let's threaten things we're not ready to act on. Let's limit the words.
To get people in line.
Yeah. So sometimes we threaten people with divorce so they can listen. I'm gonna shut her up. Let's get divorced.
Oh, you don't want to get divorced? Okay, let's just end this then.
Yeah. So
I don't have time for this.
And I was negligent in this area.
Early in our marriage,
I would say
first year.
I would say stupidness like that. I was immature.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Number 8. Why can't you be more like Bob at work?
What?
Why can't you be more like Tom next door?
What?
Why can't you be more like Billy
if you don't get out Billy from church, why don't you go be with Billy then? Huh? Why don't you go from the man? Listen, you know what?
Why can't you be more like Shirley?
Listen.
Why can't you be more like Brenda?
You know what? My ex-wife, man, she knew how to do that right. My ex-boyfriend, you just don't know how to do it right.
You shouldn't threaten your spouse with somebody else, like comparing them to somebody else.
Hey, listen.
That's not who you married.
Listen, the UPS man know how to do that right.
Wow.
Now, these statements you make when you compare your spouse to someone at work or a job or the mailman or the postman, you know what you have done? You have created an image that cannot be taken away.
No.
So now everything
live up to somebody else.
And especially
when
you say past relationships, that's a real rough one.
Yeah.
I just love when my ex-boyfriend, why can't you do it like him?
Wow.
Why can't you buy like this? You know what? You're not a provider. I should have stayed with Johnny. Dang. We got to be very careful with the word,
right.
the things we say.
People say it, but then when they're hearing us say it, it sounds worse.
Yeah.
Because when you say it, it's just like you being flipped at the mouth. You just say it real quick and you think it's not a big deal, but you're crushing the other person.
Yeah.
And you can't take back words. Once you have spoken them into the atmosphere, like you can say, I'm sorry.
You can apologize.
And they can forgive you, but they're not going to forget.
That thing, listen. I remember we were somewhere and Charmaine said something to me and that thing just
really
just ate at me. Yes.
Really? What
Yes,
was it?
I forgot.
You don't want to say? You don't want to say?
No, it was. I think it was something like you don't care like I care, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So we both
No.
show.
You misunderstood what I was saying because when you repeated it, I was like, that's not what I was
No,
saying.
I'm just.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm just saying. I'm saying that
Uh-huh.
it stayed in my mind.
Even after you realized you misunderstood.
No, I'm just saying. I when I heard it, it just kind of just. I just couldn't stop replaying it in my head. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Certain things that are said, even though you say you're sorry or it's misappropriated, it still rings it. It still rings in your head. I
Right.
was talking about a personal experience for me. I wasn't. I'm just
Right.
saying that
No, it's not
that
personal for you because we're together.
I know what I'm saying is that the words I realized at that moment how immature I was and how you could really hold on to words.
Right.
That's what
Right.
I'm saying. Usually I was able to like release it like that's no big deal.
Right.
And I realized in that moment, I was like, dang, those words really hurt. And sometimes we,
Mhm.
they say sticks and stones may
Right.
hurt your bones, but you that's a lie from the pit of hell.
Right.
Words hurt, man, especially if you think you're coming from a pure place.
Now, this is just playing devil's advocate. So if your spouse comes to you and they're telling you something that you are doing and you're hurt by it, now you're trying to like do the Jedi mind trick.
Well,
Because
I understand that, but
if you are doing whatever they say you're doing and it's hurtful to hear, then maybe it's an area that you should work on.
that's true.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was in my case. What I
Mhm.
sensed, I was like, everyone deals with things differently.
Right.
And just because one person deals with it one way and you deal with it another way doesn't mean that they don't feel it. It's just they respond differently to it.
Mm.
And different people have different stimuli by things,
Right.
because different people have different pain thresholds. It doesn't mean they don't hurt. It's just some
Right.
people can handle pain better than other people.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That
And
so
everybody grieves differently. I think that when your spouse is trying to communicate to you, though, you should definitely communicate how you're feeling, because if you're leaving them to guess because you're not communicating, that can be an issue.
absolutely.
So definitely, don't compare. But if they're communicating to you about something, don't use what we're saying as an excuse not to listen
Yeah.
and hear them out.
The next one we have, number 9,
Oh, this
is
is good.
don't be your biggest critic.
Right. This goes back to what we talked about at the very
Yes,
beginning.
what you want to do in your relationship, I love you, and we're ride or die. I'm gonna walk
Mhm.
this thing out. Is I want to be your biggest cheerleader and not
Right.
your biggest critic.
Right.
Okay, the world is already going to beat us up, male and female. Outside of the house, you're going to get beat up.
Mhm.
You shouldn't get beat up in the home. I'm not speaking
Right.
physically. Okay, I'm saying
Verbally.
emotionally. I'm saying
Right.
the house should be your shalom. It should be a place
Right.
of peace. It should
Right.
be your
Your biggest
sanctuary.
support system should be there.
That's where it should be. We were
Mhm.
in a car driving home. Had a getting prepped for LOP. It's going to be off the chain. If you have not signed up for LOP, you need to sign up for LOP.
Yes.
But anyway, and so we were doing some recording, and we were coming home, and my wife was telling me about her day, and I said, "Well, here's my 2 cents." I said, "But if you choose to do it, I'm riding with you."
Mhm.
Now, I don't agree with the precept, but if you have to do it, I'm with you. Let's go, because I'm Team Charmaine, and I told her that. I said, I'm Team Charmaine.
Right.
Okay, I got your back. Even when things don't go right, I got your back because we ride. You know what I'm saying? So at times when I got to make moves, she got my back. And even though I may not agree with it,
Right.
if she says she's going to do it, I'm going to ride with her. I'm not
Right.
going to go on strike and say, just because you did, no. We're going to ride out together because
Mhm.
I'm Team Charmaine, right? She's Team JOMO, period. All right.
All right. The last one is clearly you let people down all the time.
Golly, you always let people down.
Like you don't ever come through.
You don't ever come through.
I can't trust you.
Oh,
I can't depend on you.
oh,
I can't count on you when things
oh.
hit the saying,
Wow.
I just can't.
Yeah, and
it's like, why am I even here then?
there it is. You know, we often hear couples say certain things they don't mean. You know,
Right.
you tell a woman to go, 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 or you tell a brother go, 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 and then they go, and then
And
you
then you're
get
like,
mad.
where are they?
Well,
I'm looking for them,
you told them to
and they're not answering their
go.
phone.
Your words have power. If you're gonna tell a person to go,
Right.
what do you expect them to do?
They're
You
gonna
ain't
go.
gonna tell
Eventually
me.
they're gonna go.
Yeah, you're not gonna tell me too many times to leave.
Right.
I'm bouncing. And then so we have to be careful because sometimes we use these words so flippantly,
Right.
and we don't realize that they have meaning.
They have
Don't say
power.
what you don't mean
Right.
because somebody might take you serious and believe you.
Nobody wants to come home and get beat up all the time verbally,
Yeah.
Or not feel at peace in their own home. And I think a lot of, if you go back and watch the video, a lot of what we said tonight has to do with your words and how you speak to people,
Yeah.
how you talk to them, how you make them feel. People will remember how you make them feel more than anything else. And if you have committed your life to somebody, the least you could do is try to be a support system for them, try to build them up, help them grow. You guys have to grow together.
It's work.
It's always going to be work, but it's so worth it.
Dr. Maya Angelou would always say, when someone tell you something,
Believe them.
believe them.
Yeah.
So if you don't want your spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend to believe something that you do not mean, don't say it.
That's good.
Pause, ponder, pray, proceed. Before you say something that you can't take back.
Right.
Words are kind of like when you were little and you blow the bubbles and you try to chase the bubbles down and you couldn't catch all the bubbles. That's your words. As you let these words out of your mouth, be mindful that not every word you can take back.
That's right.
And sometimes those words leave lasting wounds. Well, that's our word for tonight. We appreciate you. We love you. I pray
Please
you have a
share this
wonderful
message with someone
evening.
too.
Yeah, share. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube page, it's JOMO and CHARMAINE. All right.
All right.
Well, we love you. Remember this:
Love,
laugh, and learn.
learn.
Have a great night.
Peace.
Love you to life. Bye bye, everybody.